Hi, it's Lynda Gaiao here from Lynda Gaiao Consulting, Living Aligned to Success. And today we're going to look at the monthly overview for December. When we look at the mandala, the wheel of life, you'll notice the hexagrams all around the outside of the wheel, and the arrow indicates the direction in which we move around the wheel. So we move in an anti-clockwise direction as we move around the sun in the 365 days of the year. In the month of December, you'll see that I have the hexagram 5, 26, 11, 10, and 58 highlighted. And the 5 represents fixed patterns. The 26 is sales and marketing. 11 is ideas. 10 is behavior of the self. And the 58 is vitality. So we've got a mix here of traits in various different functions in design. So we're not in one specific function like we were last month. But what you will notice is that we are still in purpose fulfilled through transformation. This is about transformation, growth, transforming things, yourself and others, and finding purpose in being human and fully living life. There's a deep connection here to life force energy. There's this pressure for change, for mutation, to be different, the conviction to change, power and how we use our energy. And all of the traits in this particular quarter that we're in is connected to builder energy or a builder chart, which really gives us that connection to the life force energy. And we've got a lot of drive and stamina traits, 6 out of the 9 in this particular quarter, which is that pressure for change, that pressure for mutation, that pressure to be different. And so this can be quite a pressurized time of the year. Stress can kick in, obviously, the pressure to do things and take action. And we've got this strength of conviction that comes in here as well. So that conviction to change, that power, and how we use our energy. So let's start with 5, which is the fixed patterns. This is the attunement to natural rhythms. When we have this energy around, it's really about this enjoyment that we get from having fixed rhythms and patterns or tempos in our life, knowing what our inner rhythm is and staying attuned and in tune, in alignment with that. And when we do that, when we can flow with this natural rhythm or these fixed patterns in our life, we bring vitality and health into our bodies, into our lives, because we're moving in the flow with our natural rhythms. And others can come along and they can try to force us to change those natural rhythms, try to convince us that there's a different rhythm or a different pattern that we need to have to be more optimal. But when we don't trust our natural rhythm and we follow what other people tell us to do, it can be extremely destabilizing. And we can end up feeling insecure, and we can even have physical issues and problems that show up for us. So what I'd ask you in this beginning part of this month is, what is your natural rhythm? What is your natural flow? What are your routines? What are your rituals? What are your habits? Which bring your life into this feeling of stabilization, deep satisfaction of being in that natural flow. Also, just watching around you what fixed patterns are in life around you, which ones are healthy, which ones are not, and where is it time to let go of certain fixed patterns which maybe you've adopted but really are not yours, and looking into what is your natural flow. Next, we move into 26, which is sales and marketing, and this is the natural salesperson. So when we have this energy around, we have someone who is really naturally a marketer and a salesperson. They're great at marketing and selling a product or a service. People don't always know what they need. They may have memories from the past, things that have gone wrong in the past, and they bring these fears or the selective memory with them. And what the capacity of the 26 is to be able to convince or persuade others to shift that selective memory or let go of those fears so that they can actually recognize what the benefits and features of a certain thing are, whether they do actually need it or not. And so when we have the 26 around, it's also going to bring the strength to support the tribe, and having the will to support the tribe or the community. Inherent in that is always going to be this bargain. On one side, delivering on your promises, and on the other side, being financially compensated for doing that. So this week, you can just really watch, where's manipulation or this convincing power showing up? Is it being done to you? Are you doing it to others? Is it in a healthy and supportive way? Or is it in a dysfunctional kind of from a place of greed or me, and not bringing that supportive energy into it? Next, we're going to move into 11, which is ideas. And this is the sharing of ideas to stimulate others. And what we're going to see here in the energy during this period of December is lots of ideas and concepts and possibilities that you can conceptualize. And ultimately, you could share that to bring stimulation to other people. You also can find yourself seeking the ideas of others so that you can stimulate your own reflections about life and what the world is about. With this particular trait, the invitation from somebody to share your ideas will mean that those ideas will land more effectively. They will reach the other person rather than you just blurting out every idea that pops into your mind. So spending some time just reflecting on the ideas rather than taking action, because there can be this kind of anxiousness that can come up here where you feel like you need to take action on every idea that pops up, because they might all seem like great ideas, but not all great ideas need to be or should be acted on, and for you to really discern what is a good idea and what is not. So really taking your time to peacefully assess through whatever you remember, the highs and lows of your experiences in life, and watching for the potential for ideas to become really cemented into beliefs and finally into belief systems. And when ideas go from this place to belief systems, they go from something that's quite fluid into something quite rigid and immovable. And if those belief systems are supportive, great, but if they're not, they can be very restrictive. Next, we move into 10, which is behavior of self. And this is surrendering to living authentically as yourself. To do that, one really needs to have a deep self-love and acceptance where accept and surrender to what makes you unique, and you live self-empowered as yourself. You have the correct behavior for you. And when you do that, you empower other people to live in a similar way. With this comes this commitment to being yourself versus trying to become something. So whenever we're trying to become something, we're trying to add something that we think we're missing, or a problem that we think needs to be fixed with us. But the truth of who we are needs no fixing, because there's perfection underneath all the layers of shadow, which most of us assume as ourselves. So how do you anchor into and get really grounded in what is the correct behavior of yourself? What is true self-love for you? So this week you might find this deeper recognition or sensing of what correct behavior is in yourself and in others, where people are being authentic versus not. And so just watch this expression of true self-love and authentic behavior, or not. Then we move into 58, which is joyous vitality. And this is really closes up the year for us. This is a joyful, compassionate vitality for life. So it's a beautiful way to kind of close out the year where we can bring a joyful, compassionate vitality to life, and appreciation for the beauty, for the wonder, for the zest of living, for the zest of being alive. And really challenging any patterns of living, ways of living that go against that kind of don't bring vitality, don't bring prosperity, don't bring well-being. So inherent in this particular trait is the capacity to recognize the patterns that don't work. We also have the feel here to test the viability of formulas, because as humans, we're always looking for formulas. What's the best way to live a life full of joyous vitality? And how do we keep doing that so that we move successfully forward into the future, holding on to this vitality? And we can really shift people from just talking about something into actually living and being that expression. So as you're seeing the year coming to a close, just where do you see this joyous vitality and the zest for life, and where is it missing? So just to recap, in the month of December, we've got fixed patterns. We move into sales and marketing, ideas, behavior of self, and vitality. And each of these lasts for around about 6 days. So as you're tracking through the month of December, you can get a general feel for how we're transitioning through the energy. If you would like to be guided to understand your unique design in a deeper way, in a way that is simple and practical, in a way that helps you to attune to your natural rhythm and flow in life, and to be authentic, no matter what adversity life throws at you, to let go of the pressures and stresses and fears and all of that kind of stress energy that drives many of us to take action, but rather to be in your natural rhythm and flow, then please reach out. One of the things that I absolutely love doing is guiding people to live authentically as themselves, to really live their design from a place of ease and flow, and to really create this freedom for them and this deep connection to their purpose. See you next month. Bye for now.